Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the J&A podcast on the Adjusted Perspective channel here on YouTube. Last time we were together, me and Ant were talking about pulling a movie out of a box and just pulling a movie out of the box at random and just watching that movie, whatever it was. That's our weekly homework, and we come back and we just talk about it. That didn't happen.
Yeah, it turns out the two movies we selected, the first one Joe picked, I picked the backup, which Kill Bill and Grand Budapest Hotel, respectively. Neither were on any of the streaming platforms that Joe and I have, so we had to resort to a different movie, which was...
we went on Netflix, started scrolling through movies, and number 5 on the trending last night was So We Can Be Heroes.
And we can be viewers, and we were.
So we watched that. We'll take a couple minutes, we'll get into it. But let's catch up on what's been going on. Besides that, during the week.
So last week I had to leave abruptly because my dog got sick at my dog sitter's house, which I realized at the time when I was on the phone, I did not realize, but after going back and watching our podcast, I realized that was live, and I might as well give an update on that. But yeah, my dog, she just got a little sick. I don't know if it was something she had eaten or whatever, but I mean, she's fine. She's okay now. But I mean, there was a mess. She did a number on my dog sitter's house. I mean, there was shit everywhere. But she is okay. She's back to her little energetic self. The blood that was there, thankfully, that was not my dog's. Turns out her kid, she had a son, he was running around, he had hit himself, he had bumped his head or whatever, but it was actually his blood that, I don't know how it got mixed in, but anyway, turns out she's a great dog sitter, she's just not a very good parent, but other than that, dog's doing okay, and yeah, hopefully no more scares like that.
She's a good dog sitter, just a bad parent.
Yeah, no, I
love that.
No, hopefully she's not watching, but that was a joke. I'm sure she's a great mom. But yeah.
I guess shit happens.
Oh my God. No, look, when she called me, I listened back and I know I was pretty chill, but in my head I'm like, she seemed so frantic, and my dog is tiny. She's 10, 11 pounds. I don't know. I forget. But she's she's a Maltese. I mean, they're tiny dogs. And and even when you get there and I saw this mess, I was like, how did she How did this all come out of her? It was very I was concerned, I was worried, but no, she's doing great. She's okay. She was fine. They gave her a little medicine, and by the next day she's good, back to
just peppered up and all back to her normal self.
Yeah. She's I love Maltese because they're dogs with the agility of cats, and I like that.
What's her name?
Her name is Mookie. That's my little Maltese.
Oh, it's a cute name.
Thanks, man. Little Mookie.
What is my update? So the Joe arc of the VR headset.
Where are we at with that?
So I finally got it, and I've been playing a couple games. Immediately found out it's not for me.
Okay, please elaborate. Almost choked on my coffee there.
So I don't know what the difference was. I guess like actually being I was able to when I was at my friend's house playing it. You're there for like 10 minutes or so, and then you give it up and you give it to the next person. And you sit down, and I noticed I felt a little off. Like I said, that you do feel weird coming out of it, but like so now I get to sit in there for like 3 hours, and I'm like, oh god. I was nauseous. I was doing what was that? VR chat? VR chat's alright. But I was playing Phasmophobia. And even then, like the situation that I was playing in that game, like I was talking to like the other people on the team, and we were doing it, but like we kept getting like there's a haunting, like a hunting thing that happens in the game where the ghost will kill you, and you know that when the lights start flickering. So I don't know. I guess the ghost wasn't malevolent or anything. Like he just didn't kill us, and we were able to get away. Like we knew. Like I guess
I'm just here to hang out.
Yeah, he's just in the hallway or whatever. Like we couldn't find him. We couldn't get an EMF reading. We couldn't find a cold spot. We couldn't find anything. And like anybody who's played this game, you understand. Like I guess you're gonna find these things, but it wasn't happening. And so we kept getting hunted. One of our teammates that was in the van starts telling us like, "Oh, you're at 1% and 0% on the sanity level." So like we should die theoretically. We weren't, and we were able to escape. We were every time the haunt happened, I ran into a room, closed the door, just stayed in the corner, survived. Managed to get out, and it took us like an hour and a half. We were in there in that level, and we were just like, "Fuck it, like I'm done." But having done that, and like once we were finished, I told the team, I was like, I'm done. I can't play this anymore. Like I'm about to throw up. Like it's fun, but like yeah, just don't do it for long periods of time. Which I guess is like you don't sit there and play a video game for more than like a couple hours. So like maybe the virtual reality shit, you shouldn't do it for long periods of time anyway. Swapping between other people, like that's fun. That's tolerable. We played I played a cool little party game with a couple of friends over here. Well, family. I say friends, they're family. So it's like a bomb diffusing game, and you actually have to like, well, I guess you don't have to, but like we played it where I printed out like 23 pages, and you have to put this manual together. It's all in the game, so you could just do it from the computer. But like the play space, the safe space for the VR, if you were sitting at the computer, you'd be standing right over in the behind the computer, so it just wasn't gonna work. So good thing I had printed out all the papers, and so when you're in the VR, only you can see what's going on in the game. You see the bomb, and you can move the damn thing around and like see all these like modules, and the person, whoever's in the room with you, they're looking at the pamphlet or the manual, and they have to read out like the directions of like what's going on. So it's like very specific, and it's like, so if there's like wires, it'll tell you like, well, how many wires are on that module, and you have to the game is literally called Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. So you just so you read out like whatever you're seeing, and that person who's got the manual will have to figure it out and just tell you the information. And by working together, you can solve these puzzles. And it's randomly generated. And yeah, it's just fun. It was just like we had like 4 people, so 1 person on VR, 3 people would get to read the manual. Between 3 people got a chance. 1 person sitting in stands with the VR headset, and the other 3 as long as like the player in the VR does whatever or fails, and then the other 3 people would swap between who gets to read out the manual. So everybody kind of got a chance to participate. Yeah, it was fun. It was like a nice little party game, like kind of thing that like I haven't been able to do in the last year because of COVID. So it was fun, and yeah, like, and I recommend it if you're gonna have like a party game and you have the VR, give that game a shot.
Yeah, that sounds that's cool. Bomb defusing game.
Yeah,
definitely out of the norm.
Right. Like when I was told it, I was like, what the fuck? But like it was actually fun. Like it's you're just trying to solve puzzles. You get like 3 strikes and then the damn thing blows up on you, or there's a timer. So either way, like it was a fun game.
That's cool.
So,
it reminds me of when I was a kid. I remember in science class, we went to the a local science center, and no, it wasn't that. I'm sorry. That was something different. It was a NASA. Um, Basically, everybody in the class was in like teams of two, and they got put in different parts of like a space operation. Like me and this other kid were working on the probe that was going to go into the like an asteroid or something, and then you had like the ground command, and I don't know, all the different facets of a space operation, and it was pretty cool. So I could just imagine in a virtual stance, like everybody, just having their part in a team, which is pretty cool. And also the whole team aspect reminds me of that fantastic movie we watched.
Oh boy.
We Could Be Heroes. Being a team is very important, as I've learned from this film.
Apparently. But yeah, so before we get into talking about anything, how about a word from our sponsors?
If
we had any.
Anybody? No, that's a good idea. I wanted to bring something up to you about that. I'm so glad you mentioned that. I think it'd be great if we could get some of these local businesses or somebody just to advertise on our show, or to whether it's a commercial or whether they allow us to promote them, just to get some kind of sponsorship would be great. I mean, there's a few off the top of my head I could think of. Definitely some slogans that I would love.
Yeah.
to promote.
As long as they're as long as they like reach out, or like we could reach out to them, just be like, hey, like if you want, and then we get paid, that would be cool. Is that how it works? I don't know.
I don't even know. I mean, we could just go to like say Petunias or what's it called, what's that bar, the Dirty Tadpole, and just see like, hey, we got a podcast. You guys want to advertise your business via our show and our
I mean, the thing
thousands
with the Dirty
and thousands of
Tadpole
fans
is that like I haven't been in there.
I
Even
mean,
before COVID.
I haven't either.
So I don't know, if I would want to be like, hey, go to the Dirty Tadpole.
Yeah, I'm not saying we have to promote the Dirty Tadpole. I just mean it's an example of a local business. I mean, it's been there for I don't even know, God, since before I was born. So but like a rooted in the area establishment that would be willing to say, hey, yeah, sure, talk about us, throw our name out there, and here's $20. And I didn't mean to make it sound like a shady business deal, but like
$20.
Yeah, just throw it in the back, put the lock on it, and see you in 2 weeks.
Meanwhile, somebody else is some other big company is probably listening, like, yo, all they want is $20. Yo, we don't even have to send them merch.
I would have paid $200,000 for that. Yeah.
I give him a dime. No, God. I give him a couple hundred and some merch. But hey, they only want $20. $20 is $20.
Yeah. $20. Yeah. In other words,
we're open for business.
Yes. So yeah. All
inquiries are welcome.
Yeah. So we'll reach out to some of those and see what we come up with. See if we can get some sponsorship by podcast number numero 6, I believe.
Yeah.
Number
Next would be
6.
6. This is 5. Numero 5.
Number numero 6. Number 6.
If it was a letter, it would be E.
No, it'd be F.
Next would be F.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah, this is 5.
This is 5, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I think you were what? 6.
F. I'm waiting for
E.
M.
E. F. Z.
We got a long ways to go before we get to Z.
Yeah, we just get through the alphabet. Almost as tough as getting through the song itself. A, B, C, D, E?
F?
F, because I know we just said that one.
G.
G.
Not J. G. It's
H.
tricky. It gets tricky. But you got to remember the G. Go down. G.
H-I. Now's J.
Now's the J. Yeah.
K.
Uh-huh.
L.
L by itself. L.
LNMOP.
No. You don't say it like that. Element. No. You go L. Pause. M.
Pause. M.
No. There's no pause in the alphabet. You go L. M.
L. M.
Then it's
N.
N.
P.
O. Oh, no.
No.
If you think P, go oh no. O.
Oh no. Oh, but you're saying oh no. Oh.
No. Okay, hold on. Let's start back at the L.
Okay. L.
M.
M.
N.
N.
O.
Oh, the letter O.
The
okay.
O. The
L,
letter O.
M. N. O.
O.
P.
P. Good. For pizza. You like pizza. We like pizza.
I like pizza. We like
there we go. That's
pizza.
where P is.
P.
It's a circle with the line squiggly off the tail.
Theta.
What? No. What?
Theta. The Greek
What?
symbol theta.
No.
Yeah, theta. It's got the circle with the line through it.
I don't know the Greek letters.
Oh.
I only know the alphabet.
That's the Greek alphabet.
What letter are we up to? L, M, N, O, P.
It's not theta.
It's not theta.
Q?
Q.
Okay. Yeah, Q looks like theta. That's why I get confused.
Okay. See, okay. We're on two different pages. You're in the Greeks. I'm in the...
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the... No wonder I've been so confused. I've been reading a Greek dictionary.
You picked up the Greek dictionary.
Oh my god, yeah. So you know how the other day I wanted to do the whole I'm gonna learn a word. And I'm reading these words like I don't really understand them, and I'm like, damn, I know a lot less words than I thought. And sure enough, no. I know a lot more words than I must. It's just they're Greek. It was Greek. The whole thing was Greek.
You got into the Greek dictionary.
I'm gonna fix this.
Get a Webster.
Webster. Like a
dictionary. Webster's dictionary. The new sponsor for our channel. No.
Brought to you by words. From A to Z.
Fun fact about the letter Q.
Looks like theta.
It's also the same pronunciation as one of the characters from the show you like, Impractical Jokers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Q.
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 There you go.
Q.
Do you need any more help with the letter?
Practical Jokers. Yeah, where were we? Oh, yeah, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Those? Because those I'm good with. It's just the first 20 that it really get me like, oh. Once we get to Q, it's like it's all downhill from there. It's like a roller coaster.
Right. So it's just Oh, there's loops on there too. Yeah, you threw me for a loop here. Is this Final Destination?
No, this is Hershey Park.
Okay, I think it's time to talk about We Are Heroes.
Yeah, anyway, so let's bring it back home. We got a little there. For the record, I am reading an English an English dictionary with the English language. I just want to clarify. I just want to make sure our audience knows that. Um,
I mean, we could have left it where it was, but okay, you want to clarify it.
well, I just want to clarify that because I feel like no, this is gonna be another rabbit hole that I don't want to go down. You're right. Let's come back to the movie because that is I think the bulk of what we're here to talk about. I mean, this movie needs to be discussed, and so we're here to do it.
Number 5 trending on Netflix.
And the tough questions. First off, like,
so
the dude.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, you go. I mean, let me.
Okay, so the reason why I ended up picking the movie last night was I saw Pedro Pascal in the cast, and I was like, hey, I'm watching Mandalorian. He's the Mandalorian. For him to put his name in that movie, like, you know, he probably had faith in the script. He probably had faith in the whole production.
Yeah, when you told me he was in it, I had no idea up until that point that he was. So that was like
right.
Okay,
and
maybe
up
there's something to this.
Right up to that point, all I saw of this movie was Shark Boy and Lava Girl, and that's something that I grew up watching.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey, The Mandalorian, I'm in. Let's do this. This is gonna be cool. I should have figured when they showed kids in the damn movie that like it was probably gonna be one of those stupid ass Nickelodeon shits, and well, that's what it was. Yeah. So I like the setup, and it kind of brought me back to like that like, you know, Spy Kids, you know, era of movies. But
Spy Kids.
it just like that opening scene with the what's his name, the superhero, the Superman of their world,
Miracle Man.
Miracle Man.
Yeah, I you know, it starts off and he goes up to this guy. He's like, there's this giant like army and space shit coming, and he's just like, first I gotta take a selfie. Really? Come on,
Yeah,
dude. Like that's what we're doing now. That's you know, and like he gets, you know, like that. That's like, you know, what a great showing by this world's version of. I don't know if he's Superman. I don't know if he's kind of like they wanted to go with. I don't know if you watched the show The Boys on Amazon Prime, the superhero show. That's a great show. Very, very adult superhero show. Like,
Okay.
You know, rated R, but it's intense. It's great. It is, word of the day, intense. No, it's a great show. You should watch it. But I don't know if they were trying to go with this guy, like a version of like Homelander meets Superman. And it was like, I'm looking at him the whole time and I'm expecting him to do some kind of like messed up shit like the Homeland character. But then I'm like, no, wait, this is just like Nickelodeon. And he's just, you saw it.
Yeah. He just pulls out the selfie camera. The selfie stick.
Yeah, that's right. Not even just a selfie. He's got to get the selfie stick. Like, take it as far as he can in just this direction of like pure cheesiness.
Like I don't know what the fuck you're thinking when they wrote that movie. Like I don't get it. So like I was getting like, okay, this is Superman. Oh, he's got this sidekick guy who has like a jetpack. Okay, like people being superheroes as well. You know, like I was getting a sense of like, okay, this could be a cool world. The spaceships, obviously the cheesy CGI look, but like I got oh man, what's the character's name? Hold on, I need to look up this character's name.
Yeah, see, like
this. Hold on.
Let me say something right now. Like, I have no like every now and then I love a good cheesy movie. I like just I'm very open to like all different kinds of movies, right? So like, it's not that this movie was a cheesy movie. It wasn't like. But there were so many things in this movie that I was just like, I had to just really, like, come on. But with that said,
right, like you know, but like the alien spaceships coming in, it looked like a fleet of like whatever the fuck Brainiac is. So I'm figuring, okay, like this could be cool. And then they just
I feel like they went for a Covenant purple spaceship Gravemind hybrid thing there. All the tentacles were very Gravemindy, but the ships looked like the Covenant ships, the purple insides, the going up the walkways around. Like I felt like I was on Truth and Reconciliation back in Halo One,
Yeah, that's
and
kind of cool. Yeah, I
you
agree
know
with that type
like
of vibe. Like I like that,
and
but
like but yeah, they like everything else was just and I mean I actually like it starts off the kids narrating, and first off it's like this is the day our heroes fell. And I'm thinking to myself, well, if these are your heroes, they had to fall a long time ago. But more importantly, he says that in the beginning. She says that in the beginning, and then they're back again though, right? Like later on, they're like back again, and there were a couple like continuity things I remember. And I was a little like, wait, huh? But that.
oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, because that shit happens, and then there's still like
Yeah, like the Superman
yeah,
dude falls
right.
in the beginning.
He gets saved, but like I guess they crash or they get saved or whatever. And then yeah, it says they say it in the movie that like I guess he like recovered or he wakes up. And then they get like all their superhero people together to go and stop the fleet. I don't know.
Well, yeah, all that, and then I'm watching it, and then I see Mando, and I'm like, oh shit, Pedro. Okay, like this movie might not suck, but then I remembered, because I'm thinking like, okay, he's Oberlin Martell, right? He's Mando. He's Pedro. I haven't watched Narcos yet, but I hear very good things, and I'm like you said, if he's in this, like his name, seeing him, there's a sense of
Legitimacy to this.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But then I remembered that just a couple of days ago I watched Wonder Woman 2, and then I'm like, wait a minute, I don't know. Like he was good. Like in Wonder Woman 2. Side note, it was a different performance from him, very over the top, but good. But the ending of that movie, the yeah, that's
Yeah.
conversation for another time. But anyway, like I'm like, okay, this movie might have hope. But then he tells his daughter, he's like, I love you, and she looks at him like, I love you on a Tuesday. Like, does he not tell his kid he loves her a lot? Like, you told me I love you on a random Tuesday, Dad. Like,
Yeah, the dialogue was just
like
like,
what?
weird
If like what?
and
If
out of
like,
place.
my mother or my father was like, "Hey, I love you, Aunt." Hey, it's Saturday at 4 p.m. Why the hell are you saying that shit? Like,
The world must be in peril.
like what's happening? And another thing, no one's wearing masks. There's a pandemic. I don't know when this is taking place, but not everybody's a superhero.
Okay. Okay. I'll let that go.
Okay. President is asleep at noon. No wonder the shit has hit the fan.
Well, yeah. Okay.
You
Yeah.
know, like, where's the president? Oh, it's noon. He's probably still sleeping. Really? So, anyway.
Is that a notebook you've got there?
Yeah. I actually, I took some notes on
You
the
took
movie.
a lot of notes there.
There's, 14, 15, 16 pages of jotted notes.
Okay. So you're prepared.
Well, I mean, if we're gonna want to watch a movie and I'm gonna want to talk about, there's things to take note. This one just had a lot of things to take note of, and yeah, I didn't expect to write a book, but there was, quite, yeah, like I said, just quite a bit to kind of chew on. I mean, like, Mando, he used the Force. That happened. You know, he just puts his hand up, and all of a sudden the katanas just come flying into his hand. Like, you know, it caught my attention. They call, they're making fun of the main character, right? They're making fun of her in school, and they call her Hurricane Breath. I'm pretty sure that's the name of a stripper down in the Caribbean.
That's what you
They're
wrote down
shaming her,
about
right?
that?
What'd you say?
You wrote that down about that?
Yeah.
That's a stripper in the Caribbean. Oh, man.
You know, so far the laws of physics, like at this point, I don't even know how. I'm like, what, like 10, 15 minutes in. And the only thing winning in this movie is the laws of physics, right? Namely gravity, you know, is winning. Whatever is going on at this point.
10 minutes
the FBI,
in? Hold on. No. Because the law of gravity loses also. There's a part where Pedro gets fucking thrown. Well, we didn't get to that scene yet.
Yeah. I'm kind of going.
You're getting there. I'm getting
okay.
there.
I'm
okay.
You know, this is a debacle of a journey here. So, I mean, you know, the FBI, then, you know, they kidnap this kid. They take this kid. Mm-hmm. She's like, you know, without any questions, she's just in this car with these grown-ups now. She gets a call from her father, you know, Pedro, basically saying, hey, are you kidnapped? Her response is, I think. And the dad's just like, all right, okay, bye, hangs up. Like, okay, this is great. This is a great parent. This is the same dad who was shocked that he told his kid he loved her. So, like, you know, He's the leader of this team, and they want to make him seem like a great dude. But, you know, I'm reading into things here, and I feel like he's maybe not parent of the year. Then at some point she's talking, I believe to, I forget which character, but she mentions that her mom died recently. And the lady's follow-up to her including that in her remark is just, well, you know what they say about promises. Like, how cold are you, woman?
I didn't catch that dialogue, so now I'm confused. But, like, that was literally what she says? It's just like, my mom is dead, like, and then she responds with that?
Yeah, I mean, she's talking to this woman, and she's like, ever since my mom died, my dad promised, like, oh yeah, I think it was like, ever since my mom died, my dad promised me he wouldn't fight. And then the woman just turns, well, you know, promises are meant to be broken. So, like, she's responding to the promise remark, but it's like, if somebody just tells you, hey, ever since my parent died, my other parent made this promise to me, and your response is, well, promises are meant to be broken, you're a cold-hearted person.
Yeah.
Oh, and then when they finally introduced Guppy, like, I was like, okay, we got a little toddler ginger waterbender. This is cute, you know. I like Guppy's character, you know, and then they introduced this kid, and I'm thinking, all right, we got Wheels here, right? Who looks like Axel from Twisted Metal, the old PlayStation games. Mm-hmm. I'm like, yeah, this Wheels kid looks like Axel. By the way, this is before they actually introduced his name, and I'm like, holy shit, his name is actually Wheels, which I thought was pretty interesting. And I was like, wait, I guess I'm not. What'd you say?
Pretty on the nose.
On the nose, but I also went in my head, I thought, hey, they're calling him Wheels. It made me not feel like I was a bad person for that being his name. Right. So, you know, I mean, they wrote it, right? But, like, then he's like, oh, I'm in this chair because my legs are so strong. And I'm like, wait a minute, no. I call bullshit, because how does he know his legs are so strong if his bones can't support them? Because that's his thing. Like, my legs are so strong that my bones can't support them. Well, how do you know they're that strong? Because, like, I'm thinking, oh, look, little Willie keeps falling straight down. His legs must be too strong. Like, I don't get it. And then you got little Salvador Dali, you know, predicting the future, right?
Right.
Like, obviously, everyone's like, I don't get what she's drawing. Well, like, obviously, I don't know, like, she's drawing the future.
Yeah, that was
But,
very clear of what she was doing, but
like, it was obvious, like, she was involving your characters, and, like, it was just, like, they were so bewildered by it. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Acapella, her superpower. I mean, really nice voice, but then she kind of segues into like a Pepto Bismol commercial. Cause like she's like, ah, da, 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 but then like to make things funny, it's like nausea, heartburn, indigestion, and that's how she makes things fly. Like, so like randomly throughout the movie, you hear like a song, and then you just hear. Okay, and I had heartburn yesterday, so it really resonated with me. Now, yeah. Then you got rewind and fast forward. I feel like that stuff's gonna get a little annoying at this point because, like, I think those superpowers are so like. I hate that shit. Because where's the line with rewinding or fast forward? Does time change for everybody else, or is it just the people around you? How many times can you do it? How far can you go? What's the limit on those powers? Like, can you just keep?
So the thing with those two characters was like, rewind can only go back, like, what, a couple seconds? Like it's not like too much time. I think at most. Whereas fast forward, I guess, can just do the opposite, so she can just fast forward
Once they rewind, or can she go into the future? So her power is only contingent on his?
I feel like that's what was illustrated,
right?
throughout
Like,
the movie. Like it was only like she does the opposite of what he can do. So if he rewinds it, she can fast forward it back to undo what he did.
Yeah. But he could time travel into the past. Did she have the ability to time travel into the future?
Right, and I think they're both cognizant of the changes that are made, so they can. But that's the other thing. That wasn't clear either, because other characters knew what to do despite not needing to be told it over. So, but then otherwise there was like other parts where characters were repeating themselves, right?
Yeah, you're right.
And they didn't know. So it was weird on what was allowed and what wasn't. So they could rewind their parents saying, I love you, I love you, I love you. But other times characters just knew, like, oh, we have to remove these chains from the ceiling. And
now rewind,
they just knew to do it.
When they get there, they still remember that instruction. You're right. Like that right there, there's such a flaw in the continuity and the narrative. It's like, I can't stand that shit. I mean, literally, I wrote here, I was like, what did I write? I was like, what if they both use their powers, time rift, a little, but yeah, I was like, yeah. Basically, rewind and fast forward stuff is going to get annoying and lead to a cop out. Like, it's just, and that's exactly what it did. Oh, we could just rewind and use it and completely defying the laws of the universe they created. Like, that's such lazy writing.
Yeah. I mean, like, although, like, on its own, like, just, like, like, the limitations of their powers, like, well, oh, they could just rewind any event and stop that from happening. But it's like, realistically, like, they can't change anything outside of their space. The amount of time that they can rewind, it's only to that immediate interaction. So like there's a scene. For example, there's a scene where like their character, one of the adults, smashes through a building and destroys it. Right, like, it's not like
another thing. I'm sorry. Go on.
Yeah. So my point was like the character would smash through that building and destroy it. So theoretically, if they rewind time, they can undo that. But they would also then have to influence that change. So then they can't. So they would have to physically be like, oh, yo, watch out, you're gonna smash into this building. But if they're so far away, there's no time to do that. So that outcome is inevitable. It's going to happen no matter what. So I did like that they knew what their limitation on like what they could change was, But yeah, like it does lead to a cop out at the end. But I don't know, like yeah, it's just silly, like because like you see like from like other types of shows and stuff where like a character will rewind time and like they could just like teleport to that instance and be like, oh hey, be careful, don't do this, and then like, oh okay, cool, thanks, you're like a god, where'd you come from, how'd you know, but that's awesome, I'll prevent that from happening. Whereas they can't teleport, they're stuck there, and you know, so they see an event happening and they're like, well, we can't change that, and it has to happen. But I don't think that any part in that movie was like actually like, you know, that type of issue came up. But it's just like, yeah, like they didn't use it to like change something crazy.
Okay, and then we find out, little waterbender is Shark Boy and Lava Girl's kid, which I'm like, all right, that's pretty cool, you know. And then like she's right off the bat, she's like practicing proper hydration, which is awesome. And I'm like, all right, this is so far. This is my favorite character. Like, you know, she knows what's up. Guppy. But then I'm like, so 17 and a half minutes in, right? Like they have this ceremony. And my initial reaction is, well, did the heroes fall or not? Because in the beginning she's starting off and they're all dropping or whatever. And now they're just here and everything's fine. Then this guy flies into a building. Everyone starts clapping. Right? So we just clapped for the guy who flew into and destroyed a building. That's what we do now?
Yeah. We celebrate superheroes who destroy buildings.
Who do that? Okay. Thin line between superhero and terrorist there. And why did that building just crumble so easily? Like, he literally flew into a window and the whole thing shattered. I mean, that's just shoddy craftsmanship. So, you know, I don't even know, you know, is this the same movie? No one's ever taken down Miracle Guy? Did the movie not start off with him dropping from the sky? No one's ever taken me on in one, or he makes some like comment like that, and I'm pretty sure like 3 minutes in, this guy's fallen, you know, from a beam of light. Like, at no point did any of these heroes really demonstrate that they were superheroes at all. I don't think any of these parents demonstrated an ounce of anything. You know.
Well, okay, hold on, because now I'm trying to think. I remember when you're talking about like the kids are in the room, right, and they're watching the TV.
Yeah.
Wasn't that like just like pre-broadcasted like footage, that like old stuff that they were showing, like just to be like, these are our supers, and or no, I don't know now. Now I'm confused. I thought they were showing old footage of like the heroics of the heroes, and then
no, because I think when that ceremony happened, something started happening. Because I think I might have thought that too, like maybe that was in the past, but then I could, unless it was something else that had that same kind of where I was like, wait, is this two different, or is this the same, you know, present day? But I feel like something started happening where maybe like the aliens started attacking, so I was like, no, this is very much right now. But maybe I missed something, and maybe the timeline. Maybe I messed up the timeline there, but I think that was like the current news. No, because that was when they caught them and kidnapped them. Because remember, like you said, he saved them at the beginning, and like they didn't actually kidnap them, right, at the very beginning.
No, they didn't kidnap him. He fell back to Earth. Yeah, he gets kidnapped.
So it was at that ceremony that they were
he
having.
loses a second time.
Yeah, that was, and I think that ceremony is where that stuff went down.
Right.
And then, yeah, and like seriously, when the guy flies into the building, the whole thing just crumbles. Like, I mean,
yeah,
like, yeah. So I mean, basically, the whole fake Avengers team is just not very good. Oh man.
What page are you on?
I am on page like, I don't even know. Let's see this. One, Pedro's like, at one point he's like all upset. He's like, he's like, don't wait. Hold on. Oh, anyway, at one point Pedro's like, oh, I promised my daughter I would never be a hero again, and I'm like, don't worry, Pedro, you're keeping your promise. And then like he's standing off with the aliens, and everyone else has been abducted. All the other superheroes have lost now, and they're all, and he's literally on live television communicating to his daughter as he's facing these aliens, completely like evade, like talking to his daughter, but not really being engaged in the conversation. And then he just basically commits suicide in front of her on live television and jumps into this mass monstrosity of an alien. Like, while talking to his daughter. I mean,
yeah, it's like,
really? Like, he
I
didn't
have
even,
to
like,
do this.
give
I'm
like
the leader. The leader
I
goes
love
down
you,
with the
honey.
ship.
Yeah, like, he's just like, oh, I gotta do what I gotta do. Phew.
Like, exactly. How do you know you're not gonna die?
Yeah, exactly. He didn't know that. So anyway, I guess
Like,
they've
yeah, he
fallen
made
again.
he literally made the conscious decision of, fuck it.
Yeah, and not like I love you. I'll always watch over you, or like I'm sorry if you think you're gonna die. Like if you're gonna do something, put a little more effort into the last words to your kid, right?
Yeah.
I mean, especially if you're on live television, make a nice sappy show out of it. Not just all right, be good. I'm out. I mean, and remember, this is the father who shocked his daughter when he told her he loved her on a Tuesday morning. So are you not seeing the pattern here? There is a significant pattern to this parent. I mean,
Not a good dad.
no, not a very good dad.
But, okay, and then that's the crazy part. Okay. Yeah, he's supposed to be the leader, and he's horrible parenting skills. Not a very good leader of the team either. So why are you the leader?
Oh, okay. Now at this point, the president wants to talk. Like, I mean, the guy who slept through the whole battle in the first place, all the way to lunch.
Right.
And oh man,
now he's up.
Oh, I'm like, oh, it's Shooter McGavin.
Oh my god.
I guess he was out golfing.
But besides Shooter McGavin, but like I even got like the vibes of like he played the bad guy in that movie, that shitty superhero movie. Do you remember that? It literally was called Superhero Movie.
Oh, like the disaster movie superhero movie.
Yeah, like that series. Yeah,
Gotcha.
He was the bad guy of that, whatever, like the Firefly hero guy thing. Yeah, he was the villain there too, and like that's what I was getting. I was like, this is a cheesy movie, and now you brought him in, which is this the same world? Like, now he's the president.
Oh yeah, I saw it. It was just like, oh man, what is happening? This like, I mean, it's starting to make sense. Presidents. This guy sleeping till 12, and okay. Then after this, we start seeing more of the, I guess the drawings. They realize. So the main character starts realizing that little Salvador Dali is drawing the future, and like multi-powered kid, the kid with unlimited abilities, has no reaction to the fact that this, like, it's evident that she's drawing the future, and he's just like still mad at main character girl, and he's like. I'm like, but are you not getting it? Like, the shit she's drawing is happening. So, like, get over your little whatever and, like, realize this, bro. Like, you gotta address this. And
he has, like, a horrible, like, really, like, chaotic response to anything that actually makes sense.
You are absolutely right. Like he does. He's like, he just abandons reason and logic, and he's just like, ugh, like, really shitty written character too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now these kids are trying to escape and they're messing with the guards and they literally these are like I don't know like what National Defense Compound guards, right? These are
Right.
like you would think top of the line, and these kids outsmart them with Up Dog. Hey, is that Up Dog? Oh, what's Up Dog? If that's what can infiltrate our this compound. Well, I think the joke is clever. I think it's dumb that the joke was used in this particular. And if I was watching a movie with two guys on a road trip and one was really serious, the other guy was kind of goofy, and he just turns to the guy who's serious because something just pissed this guy off, and they're driving in Nevada or on a long desert road, and he just goes, "Hey, dude, is that Up Dog?" And I go, "What's up, dog?" That I would find that funny. That I think would
Right.
work.
Yeah.
Here, using it to escape a military compound or whatever the hell it is. No.
No, not
So
funny.
yeah, that's as elaborate as I guess I could address. That. Oh, and then they get them, and they have the group of these kids, and they're like, "Uh-oh, the twins are too powerful together. Let's separate them," and they move them 2 feet apart.
Right.
Cause that's gonna. I don't even know.
I don't get it. That part I was like, wait, what? Why? That's what you do? Put them all
Yeah.
in separate cages. They wouldn't have been able to do
Yeah.
that. That was
Whoa,
the
whoa.
stupidest thing.
Put them in cages. All right, that was wow.
Put them in
no,
separate
but-
cells.
Put them in separate luxury hotel rooms. Okay. But no, you're right.
They
Like
are
separate
human
them like
after all.
significantly. Like they're stronger together. Bloop. Thank you for half social distancing. And then Guppies just wants water. It's like, someone just get this girl water. Please get this poor girl water. And then like a minute later, they listen to me and they all cry. And then boom. But then she turns it into ice, I guess, and uses that as the key. Because I'm pretty sure if I put an ice key in a door and turned it, the thing would break. So again, another thing I don't understand. An hour and 2 minutes in, I just realized that dude with the jetpack from the beginning, that's Christian Slater. To anybody listening. Christian Slater fans anywhere? No?
I didn't
80s
realize
actor, 90s
that.
actor, Hollow Man and Hollow Man 2. He was in The West Wing. I'm like, I thought it was an entirely different actor at the beginning. I actually thought it was the dude from yeah, that'll come back to me. I gotta remember. But I thought it was a completely different dude. And then they're on the ship or whatever in that scene, and he's got his hat off. I'm just like, oh shit, that's Christian Slater. Like, when did he get here? Then we got acapella just narrating and singing again, like, because that's her thing. She just starts singing randomly. They're fighting these guards. Realistically speaking, they're fighting these teenagers, right, with like abandon, like they don't give a shit. They're fighting these teens. Now, I know Guppy's got insane powers, but they don't know that. So then she starts running at them with her sunglasses on, and these guards just start shitting their pants and running away from a toddler. Like, again, makes no sense. At an hour and 8 minutes, I called it. Just rewind and fast forward using their powers to victory. An hour and 10 minutes. This. Weird. Oh. Then an hour and 10 minutes, you got this other guard laughing at Priyanka, the head bad lady of the aliens or whatever. Like, did he even see what she did to the mayor in Baywatch? I ain't fucking with her. Then an hour and 11 minutes. Oh no. More like some of these only really work with like the reaction thing.
Yeah.
But it was like an hour and 11 minutes in when they realized Oho is bad. It was like, Oho, snap. And then I was like, Oh no, she didn't. But um, but she did in Baywatch. Okay. Then an hour and 11 minutes in, we get the plot twist with Oho. Like, Oho, no, she didn't. Right? A minute, an hour, and 12. It's not a minute in, it's an hour. I'm all over the place with this movie. This movie had me frazzled. But an hour and 12 minutes in, like, all right, so I'm asking all these questions. I may have jumped the gun. But first off, the kid's in the thing, and they're just like all buddy now. Like him and the girl, the main character, right? I don't know why I can't remember her name. But, oh, buddy, hey, buddy, why do you know Ho no? Did they purposely not tell her, right? They edited this. It's an editing disaster. I think we should just cut everything I'm saying just in this segment because, again, it just only works with the camera. So,
But your reaction though of like, how did all that shit come together? Like now they're friends all of a sudden. Yeah.
yeah. So, yeah, it's just like, so, at this point, an hour and 12 minutes in, it's, the multi-superpowered boy and main character girl are like, hey, old buddy, how are you, old buddy? Like, way over the top on the nose with the compensating for the first hour of the movie where they hated each other. And then, like, it's like too much and too rushed and kind of forced. And then, okay, Oho, we've realized now is a double eight, whatever her deal is. But I'm thinking like, okay, why didn't they tell her? And then I realized, okay, it's because I guess main character girl figured out much earlier on based on that drawing. But then like, why would Oho not hide that drawing? Why would she draw that if she knows, hey, this is going to expose the whole thing?
Right.
Why would she draw that? Right? Like in the first place and not, or why would she just not hide it? Right? And then they're like, oh, let's look for the button with the shield. Oh, no. It's like, it should probably be a button with a shield on it if I know aliens. Now, that just comes off as either racist or ignorant.
You're racist to a species of alien.
And now we're in 16 minutes in. She gives this, it's this obvious on-the-nose self-realization speech with the kid talking to the woman like, I realized blah, 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 because she's a great teammate and I can believe in myself. Who talks like that to the bad guy who's trying to destroy the world, right? Like, I mean, like, let me tell you how I've self-actualized before you destroy humanity.
Like, and then when you think about the fact that, like, this whole movie takes place within a time span of 3 hours. 2 hours. Right? That was the countdown before the takeover was supposed to happen.
Right, yeah, that's another.
So all this character development happens in 2 hours. They had, I mean, you didn't talk about the whole montage section of them training and suddenly learning all these like fighting moves and how to like flip and shit. It was like ridiculous. It was like my brain just shut off at that point. I mean, it was just like whatever, because if I sit here and start questioning all this stuff, I'm gonna hate this movie even more.
Joe, I think you just kind of everything I've said and talked about already, you just added a whole nother layer to it because I totally forgot that one key concept that this takes place, like you said, in the window of like 2 hours. So now everything I've said, I mean, isn't even like just what you said alone. Yeah, the training montage. Who knows how long that was supposed to be and how they learned all that in that short amount of time. Again, with continuity and just.
I mean, like, realistically, like, if the scene was probably like, I want to say 5 minutes of that section where they meet the grandma and then they finish and they leave the grandma's house, that had to be like, maybe, I'll just throw a random number, just maybe 10 minutes. That is the actual amount of time of training that they had in that 2 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you got to figure, yeah, they had 2 hours the movie was what, like an hour 40. So give or take, the movie was happening ideally in real time.
Right.
And
Like if I think things would have been a little bit different, a little bit more tolerable if they said like, oh, the takeover is gonna have like the aliens are here and they've said that within a week they're going to.
yeah, we got 7 days. All right,
Right, like at least then
3 days of
okay,
hardcore intense
you know, a
training.
couple days of like training, you know, maybe a scene where like the characters have like a little bit of more of like an intense falling out, and then they come back afterwards and they realize like, oh, maybe the main girl, the leader, and the multi-powered kid like had a little moment where they like worked together and they were like, oh, maybe I can trust you. And like actually show like, oh, she trusted me, and so now I trust myself, and blah blah blah. Like at least you would have shown that like there was a seed planted somewhere where like that idea
Yeah,
comes through within the couple days of them training, and so when they finally get to that last area, that big reveal is like, oh, like he was on the fence about it, but like we were all tricked. I mean, whereas like, yeah, I mean, we were all tricked, but like, I feel like you completely tricked me. You led me. You gave me no time to even realize like, oh, there could be a chance of like something happening. Like you're just like, oh, the kid's an asshole. He's leaving the group with this other kid, and they're going to do something, and you're just like, okay, well, fuck him. He's a piece of shit. And then like they basically made you feel like the alien in the movie. You as the viewer, they made you feel like an alien. They pulled the rug off over the aliens, and that's
yeah,
exactly how I felt. Where it was like, oh, what? Like, when the fuck did you guys start to become friends? Like,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like,
You're right. There was no development there, and then they just like flip a switch. Okay, now they're friends and everything's great. Oh, buddy, like
yeah,
you know, it was
old buddy, we just
like
met 20 minutes ago.
like again. Here's the thing. Like, I know it's a kids movie, and I know that there's a level of laxness to films like this. You
Sure,
know,
yeah,
but there is still like some great kids films, you know, that some of them are still great because they just simply have a story, they simply follow a continuity, they just fall in the realms of obvious law, I won't say law, but laws or parameters of storytelling. When
here's a
this
great
movie
example.
just
And like the director here is Robert Rodriguez. Like I
yeah,
said earlier, he created Spy Kids, right? Spy Kids, the brother and the sister, they didn't get along. And throughout the movie, they even have a montage when they go to their uncle's house and they learn all the tricks of the spy stuff, and they figure out how to use it and work together so that when they get to the bad guy's castle keep thing and at the end, them working together makes sense when they save their parents. This is the same director, the same fucking universe, probably, the same everything. And, like, why was there such a huge difference in storytelling?
yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Whereas that, yeah, had the progressive. Maybe because there was so many characters too. Like they tried to, you know, you try to tell the arc of so many characters in one movie, and they just really didn't put a lot into any of that development. But yeah, dude, it
I'm just saying though, like the amount of like, okay, yeah, sure, you know, the amount of characters, the amount of time that you can do for a kids movie, you know, you only have an hour 40, sure, but like one key difference, one key change that could have made everything make more sense is if there was more than just 2 hours.
yeah,
I'm talking like 2 days, 3 days that the aliens give them. That would make more
yeah.
sense of them working together. It was all like it's all rushed. It just happens way too fast and it's not compelling.
Yeah, I think a few more lines of dialogue honestly would have done the movie so much justice. You know, a few extra minutes in screen time, and yeah, just giving the idea that the movie took place over, say, something like 3 days. You know, I mean, the content could have been just about the same. The events that they, you know, the events that took place from point A to point B at the end could still be roughly the same, but it would have been way more realistic had it taken place over the course of 3 days. And I would add maybe 5 to 10 minutes of additional scenes and footage that just flesh in a little bit more dialogue, a little bit more like, you know, evolution between the characters, even if there was a line here between main character girl and multi power boy, just a line here or there, or something a little bit later, something just to progress at least more than it did their relationship. Um, it you know, and then they're doing all this battle, and they finally like what they kill a couple of the goons, and like could you imagine if the Avengers celebrated like that after beating a couple of like Thanos' goons, like woo yeah, like Iron Man and Thor jumping up, high fiving and heel kicking, and like everybody cheering, and like I mean, this is like world domination, and we're just
Right, yeah.
oh man.
Literally, like, your world is about to end and you're just, like, celebrating, high-fiving. It is way too relaxed for the situation that you guys were dealing with.
And those villains, extremely, extremely patient villains, because now we gotta wait for main character girl to walk along a tightrope, and they're just like, oh, here's the person we want to end, walking along a tightrope above a fall to an infinite abyss. This is like the moving version of a sitting duck. Like all you have to do is blow a little wind and she's gone. And you got giant, I don't know, King Shark sketch boy over here. You got whatever the other monster is over here. And they're just like, all right, and she's just walking along the tightrope, taking her sweet ass time, calls them over, they listen, and then, and you know what? That was cool, the whole, okay, release your arms and the drop. But like, the patience of these villains was just like, no. Yeah. You're trying to ruin the world. You're not going to wait for this kid to walk along a tightrope and just, oh, what is she doing? Nope.
Other point to that though is that those monsters were the drawings of Ono. What's her name?
Ojo. Which
Ojo.
means eye in Spanish.
Oh, okay.
Ojo.
Yeah. The future eye.
She's
well, okay, so like, that's actually interesting. But no, but like, yeah. So those things were like she drew them and they came out of her tablet and they were the monsters, right? Since when? Since when is this the power that you have?
Yeah. Why is this not?
Like, why didn't all the other drawings you create early in the movie come to life like this? She literally drew a fan blade with tentacles coming through. Like, you could have that tentacle monster could have came in and just killed everybody in the room right then and there. Fuck. I mean, like, here's the other point. Since now we know you're the bad guy, you could have not drawn anything, and nothing would have happened. But of course, that brings us to the reveal of the movie, right?
Yeah, the reveal, of course, which at the end, it's, oh my god, the essential. It was all a dream, it was all for nothing. It was all just, it was a test. It was
right. It was just their way of saying like it was a forceful. We just want the next generation to be better.
But the thing is, Earth didn't know that.
Right. Humans.
And they're just like, oh, it was a test? That's cool. Could you imagine if like an alien race just came in and kidnapped everybody in the Pentagon and the White House, held them hostage for 2 hours, and then at the end, hey, your kindergartner's here, passed the test, you're good. Oh, thank you guys. All right, see you later. Not everybody's happy now.
Right.
Like,
we still, there's a lot to unpack after the ending.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
So okay, so you're doing a whole passing of the old guard type shit. Like you're passing the torch to the next generation. They're better, which I get it. Like, you always want your kids to be the better version of you, which that's the literal version of that throughout this movie. That's what this is. But let's unpack the fact that we now have aliens as our president. Like, they came in forcefully. They brought in the spy woman, whatever, she's an alien. The president's an alien. All these people are all aliens, and they're all like, all formal about it. They're like, yeah, we made them. We took over your government so that we can test your kids. Like, that's all this is. Like, wait, so what happens when it's time for you guys to leave? Like, do we now have to do a new election? Is the vice
new
president
election? Yeah.
an alien? Like, what's going on
Yeah.
here? Like,
You just came here and hooked up everything we had in place because now we're going to have to reorganize and refigure shit out. Go down
Right.
to some designated survivor crap because you guys leave and all of a sudden we just have 18 vacancies in our government. Like, thanks a lot, alien race. Ooh,
Like-
we just came here to help. Yeah, well, you picked everything up along the way.
and all the superheroes are like, yeah, look, my kid's gonna be great.
I'm
What
proud
about
of
the
my
literal
kid.
government has collapsed because of you?
My kid's going to be a star. Our nation's falling apart, but my kid's going to be a star. Yeah, in Bangladesh, maybe in the IT department. Like,
Oh my god. Or does he continue being president? Which, honestly, Shooter McGavin as the president seemed like a cool idea to begin with, so let's just do it. Like, can he stay?
sleeps till 12. I mean, he's chill. Another issue though I have with little Salvador Dali, she on her planet the kids are in charge. So now I gotta ask, as you get older and wiser, do you become a doormat to little kids, and they just shit on you, or is it like they got Benjamin Button syndrome over there? Like, hey, thanks, like. I don't.
Yeah, that's an interesting idea. Like, okay, so like the kids. So like you're basically telling us that like when you have kids, your life is over. You're done.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
And once they get old enough to talk, you have to listen to them and they tell you what to do because they're
Right.
in charge.
Mother,
Like,
give me food.
yeah.
No,
Yes, dear.
fucker.
Grandma,
What?
bring me my.
Okay, my fingers hurt. No.
I don't care about your arthritis. Give me my meal
Yes.
and do my 4th grade homework.
Okay.
I mean, like, what is that? Like,
Yeah. It was too
You-
like there was too much of what would you call it like the agenda for this movie was just like not a fan.
kids rule, but like
No.
it's not, you know. Oh, and then like after everything's all cool and whatever, she's talking to main character girl, and she's like, you guys, thanks for passing the test. When you're done saving Earth, mind saving the galaxy? Like, really? Like, you just tasking these kids with, all right, make sure you go and save the galaxy next. Like,
So what does that mean?
why
that the
doesn't
sequel
Shark Boy
movie-
talk? I mean,
Oh,
I guess
Shark
'cause they
Boy
couldn't get
doesn't
Taylor.
talk. Yeah, that would be the reason.
But like, it was just awkward.
Yeah.
He's just silent the whole time. I would have rather them like killed him off or wrote him off or said he wasn't around. Shark Boy
There was
is over
literally
in-
no reason for Lava Boy and Shark Boy and
Lava-
Lava Girl to
Lava
even
Girl.
be in this movie.
No, there wasn't. I think they built it as a sequel so people would watch it, but literally, any of those characters could have been like, "Yo, your parents are Shark Boy and Lava Girl." Okay. Like,
Yeah.
I like Guppy; she was cute. Like, but like,
But here's the other thing. So now that makes this movie the sequel to Shark Boy and Lava Girl. But like the whole point of the first movie was that they were dreams. They were just characters that a kid created.
yeah,
And then I guess at the end he brought them into the real world. But like otherwise they exist in the dream world. So what is this movie?
I'm glad how at the end of all this, you managed to just shatter it even further. Where I don't even fucking know.
Right, it's just
What are the
confusing.
rest of my notes here? Why doesn't he talk? And then at the end, they look like futuristic janitors. And as I was literally writing the note, as I'm literally writing the words futuristic, right? There's the line of dialogue, and they're like, "What are you looking at?" And as I'm writing futuristic janitors, she says the word. She goes, "The future." And that kind of blew my mind a little bit. But like, oh. But yeah, they all have their janitor suits and like,
Yeah, you know what's really annoying is that there's an early dialogue where they
About not having
specifically say it
costumes.
not to have
Yeah.
costumes.
Yeah, and I right then and there I was like, oh, they're not gonna have anything interesting, like no interesting costumes, like they're. Ugh.
I guess the point that they're trying to make in the movie that like now that I think about it, I guess makes sense is that their parents were all wearing their own type of costume specific
they're
to
a
their power,
team.
right? Whereas now they're a team, a janitorial team, but a team nonetheless.
Brooms and mops and swappy.
I also thought it was really odd that they like in the stand up that they were doing, right? Like there's a whole lineup of all the kids, but then like it like looked like it's stretched a little bit just to include like the tiny ones. The kid with the wheelchair, the little girl, and there was another person. It was just like
got him, hold it. That's a wrap. Pan out a little more, zoom out. Pan to left. Okay,
got him. You're in the shot. Good.
in the shot, and no, wait. Okay, and good. Yeah.
One other thing that bugged me was during all the scenes where they're running through the spaceship hallways, you like they made it a point that like the slow-mo kid was like trying to keep up with them. There is like very noticeable because I was paying attention to this. Very noticeable that like he was nowhere to be seen in many of those shots. Where you would think he'd be in the back of the hallway, he wasn't. He just wasn't. And then there's other parts where like you see all the kids coming out of the doorway. You see them in a line, and they're like, "Okay, it's your turn to come out." You know, type like that's how they filmed it. And then like other parts where like when all the kids are in the room together. He's walking normal speed. But he's behind them all, so, like, I guess they figured, like, you're not seeing him. But at that point, that's who I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, like, even early on, they're like, oh, we're one person short. Who are we missing? And then you see him running through the fields while the aliens are coming at him. And so you've made it a point that I should be looking for him to make sure he's with the crew. And he's not in your scenes.
Yeah, there was... I didn't even understand that either. Like, because then... Like... So think about it. When he punches people, even though he's punching slow, there's a momentum force
right
behind his punch, and so the bad guys go flying. But at the end, he's able to jump down from the top of the thing to the floor to get that little motherboard chip or whatever that fell, because he falls slow. But even though he's falling slow, wouldn't that momentum still exist? So when he hits the floor, there's that same impact that when he
would break
punches
his
somebody.
Knees.
So where's the consistency there?
Right.
look,
Whereas like they even show like that's the other thing that's wrong was that like they showed that the what's his name, the stretchy kid.
Yeah,
Noodles.
I mean, Noodles.
Right? He's able to shoot his arms all the way down, but just barely can't reach it, right? So then why, if the kid can go in slow motion, then let him, or let any of the other kids could have gone down with Noodles holding them, and they could have picked it up, and he could have pulled them out.
I said the same thing. I'm watching it, and first off, I'm like, he's going, I'm like, oh, right before the end, you're going to get, I can't reach. I'm like, I can called it. And then secondly, I'm like, wait a minute. He's only like a foot away from the thing, though. Can't any of the other ones just have gone down there, grabbed it, and people... Exactly, dude.
Right.
Like,
it didn't have to be the slow-mo kid, and they didn't have to wait for the teleport kid to show up.
Yeah. You could have somebody slide down his line. Yeah, like, just to use teleport kid's abilities now and, like, show off, like nothing the whole movie, and like, oh, no, you can do this. No, you can do this.
Right. Oh, because my friend.
I believe in myself.
My friend believes in me now.
My friend, my old buddy believes in me. Look, overall, it was a a goofy movie that you can kind of chill out, watch mindlessly. I get like what they were trying to do with the kid, the team aspect of this. About being a team, but I mean, as a film, as a product of there was just very very little thought to the continuity, to writing, to the overall parameters of this universe. And I just think like we said, with a few more minutes and a little bit some editing in just the story concept, the time, the window of the movie itself, the 2 hours, I think this movie could have been so much better. But yeah, it just a lot of little things that just did not work.
I mean, it was like when I texted you, I was like, "It's all right," and then at the end, I was like, "I hate this movie." It was like that's
the thing. Like I was like, okay, I'll give it a chance. Like I went in knowing I may enjoy this movie. Like this might be just a fun whatever. But there were so many things watching it. Like there's that. But why that? Wait, why are they doing this? But how is that possible? And it just by the end, I had way more questions than I had moments of that was awesome. There's just
I'm wondering if it was like number 5 trending. If it's whatever place, if it was only trending because of how bad it is. But it was an alright movie. It was alright, but
yeah, I mean, I would say alright.
Many flaws.
Yeah, I mean, I know the review is definitely critical, but yeah, I mean, I would say it was an alright movie. I mean, it wasn't by no means was it the worst movie I've ever seen.
No,
but it was definitely like I said, a fun movie. You can sit back as a kid, and and I think that's probably why it is in the top 5, because you got to realize there's probably a lot of kids these days just at home watching these movies on Netflix. You also probably have people our age who were kind of manipulated into it's a Shark Boy Lava Girl sequel, who did grow up with that movie and said, I'll watch it, or I'll watch it with my kids or whatever, and then watched it, and you see Lava Girl for yeah, I don't even know why they were part of the movie. It would have been better if they weren't, because then, like you said, just adding them in then kind of creates that discrepancy with the first one. Was it real? Was it a dream? What this would have been a better standalone movie on its own.
I'm trying to think of how to give this movie a grade if we had to give it a grade. And I think it's much more easier to break it down into categories and score it based on that type of stuff. I'm just not sure on the categories, but I've got 4 that I can just think of off the top of my head, and one of them in particular that I do want to comment on. So, in my opinion, and then you can give your opinion here. I've got storytelling, CGI, filmography, and acting.
Okay.
Storytelling.
Would you say filmography, like cinematography?
The cinematography, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, cinematography. So storytelling, I say, is crap.
Yeah.
The CGI was actually really good.
Okay.
This is one of the better CGI'd movies. Cinematography. And then the acting is just yeah, a lot to be desired. They're kid actors. What can you get? What do you do? But the main character, just I don't know, too much sass. And I really liked Guppy. I like that the whole thing for her, and she's got to be 4, 5. It's not her fault. Whoever's in charge of giving her directions definitely was just show your teeth and whatever.
Yeah, it was a little cringy and cheesy. Some of the she was really cute, and some of the parts just worked because But when they over the topped it with the glasses and the shark sounds or whatever the hell that was, I was like, oh, come on.
Yeah. So otherwise, just I think the best part is just the CGI. With all my categories, but all right movie. I just give it I don't even know what to grade it at that point, but
Yeah,
Based off my
I give
take
it-
there, figure it out.
I'd give it a cheese whiz on the cheesy level.
Yeah.
Yeah, storytelling. I mean, the acting. I mean, I mean, there were solid performances here or there from a person here. I mean, Pedro, like, I think he was fine. I think his character was just not written well. You know, as a parent, my gripes with his parenting, but I think his acting was fine. I mean, some of the kids I thought were good. Others, I think, were like, but again, like you said, the child actors, I'm not gonna bash them. I think for the movie I think they all did a great job, and I'm not here to like bash any of these artists, but as a movie, all like with those categories, it's definitely just not a strong, So those categories, what were they? Because this way we can kind of adhere to like maybe that for future movies. Like,
yeah, I'm sure this will change because this is all I can think of like right now. Storytelling, CGI, cinematography, and acting.
Gotcha. Cinematography, I mean, I definitely didn't take notice of any. I mean, sometimes I'll notice, with good shots or whatever. I didn't really notice anything. So, I mean, definitely didn't stand out from a cinematography standpoint. One thing that caught my attention more with the story was like when they're watching it live, like they're seeing all this shit happen on the news, but like where are these cameras out there while this battle's going on?
Right,
like,
yeah.
Like who's capturing this footage? But
like drone shots or some shit.
Yeah, just in the middle of this battle in the city, like, but anyway, yeah, for younger viewers, I would say it's a good fun movie to watch.
Kids will like
a nice, good message of working together as a team. So for kids, I'd say like 12 or 10 and under. Great movie. Above that, go with Shawshank or Forrest Gump.
When you're in your teenage years, you're watching Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah. I mean, it was either this or Shawshank. Stupid me. I went with Heroes, but no, it's yeah. I mean, that's.
Hey, it's your opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that is our, I guess, hot take on We Can Be Heroes. I think we're good on length here. Do you want to attempt a movie box?
Say we can confirm whether the movie is accessible or not before we end the podcast.
Yeah. So it makes more sense.
Yeah. So we're not day of calling an audible. So guys, last week we said we were going to watch Kill Bill. Last night we watched Fern Gully.
It just becomes a whole fucking thing. All right, how's Midnight Sky?
Okay. Question. I mean, I literally just watched it last week. So now, should I rewatch it again, or?
I guess you would not have to.
Yeah, I mean, because you should watch it.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah, it's a Netflix original. Yeah.
So so then we'll just watch So I guess that's my homework. Do you want a second movie?
Yeah. Let me pick one, and then this way I'll have one to pick also.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see what I got. Oh, I got The Godfather. All right. Looks like I'm gonna need to put away 3 hours this week. No, that's a great movie. It's been a couple years since I've rewatched my.
I haven't seen that at all. Well, that's why we put it in the box.
Oh yeah, dude, definitely gotta watch The Godfather. But yeah, it's in the box, so.
That's it. That is the game. That is the game. That is the challenge.
Yeah, dude. I mean, if we could start off with We Could Be Heroes and get through it and make it happen, that's a good start. We just do it. Like, it's our homework. It's our job. It's our duty to watch whatever movie we assign. And we managed to talk for an hour and Jesus, almost 2 hours about We Could Be Heroes. So I think, no matter what we have to watch, shitty, good, great, we'll have a conversation. This
So, all right. Challenge is accepted. So we will meet back next week as what seems to be usual at this point. So, yeah, and if anybody's actually watching, come on, participate with us. It's Midnight Sky and The Godfather, and you can voice your opinions. Let us know what you think. And also, what are your opinions on We Can Be Heroes? Are we just completely out of touch? Are we too old to be watching that movie?
Yeah,
I think so.
Are we overthinking? Are we overanalyzing? Are we completely right on the mark? Do you feel the same way? Do you feel that, I I don't want to accidentally, lead a campaign against the movie like I led the whole campaign against Santa as an identity thief. I'm not trying to get into movements here. Yeah, seriously, guys, let us know what you think if you catch it or the other two movies. Till next week, though, enjoy and enjoy the new year. But Happy New Year, guys, by the way. And
yeah,
yeah,
that's how in touch I am with life.
yeah, I totally forgot.
We're 2021 now.
Yep, 2021. So to everybody out there listening, seriously, glad that's over with. But here's to a good 2021 for everybody and all our fans. Let's get this one up to 10 likes this week, guys. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. That's all I got.
That's it.